There are more than 3,000 counties in the United States. From 1980 until 2016, 19 of those counties voted for the winner of the presidential election every time. Those counties became known as bellwethers.
So a bellwether county is a county that you can use to show how the larger country has voted and has swung with the country as a whole over the past several cycles.
So how did bellwethers, predictors of the outcome of an election, get their name? The term bellwether originally comes from sheep farming. The farmer would put a bell around the neck of the lead sheep, known as the wether. They then trace the movements of the flock by following the sounds of the bell. But when it comes to U.S. politics, the sound of the bell is getting harder to hear.
You can have a bellwether that lands on the winning side of an election for a period of time, okay, but eventually they all wind up perishing.
That's what happened in 2020. Of the 19 bellwether counties, only one voted for Joe Biden, the winner. The rest went for the incumbent President Donald Trump, who lost. The 19 counties are primarily located in the country's Midwest and Northeast. 4 are in Wisconsin, a battleground state. Other states with 2 bellwether counties each included New York, Ohio, and Michigan, another battleground state. But after the 2020 election, only one bellwether was left, Clumsy County in Washington state.
It is a little more highly educated. If we're looking at it has some urban areas, it has some rural areas. It's on the Olympic Peninsula. So it's a little different than some of these other typical white working class counties that once they swung towards Trump in 2016, they continued to move that direction in 2020.
Clumsy is a 161-kilometer long county that was home to about 77,000 people in 2020. 81% of the population is non-Hispanic white. The U.S. as a whole is about 59% white. The average age is 52.3 years old. The west end of the county, where people are more spread out, is known for being more conservative. There are bigger cities in the east end, which is known for being more liberal.
Because this is looking like it's going to be a close election, right? I wouldn't gamble on any of the bellwethers continuing to be bellwethers after this election.
That's because America is a politically divided country. 49% of registered voters say they're Democrats or lean toward the Democratic Party. Almost the same share of people, 48%, identify as Republicans or lean Republican. And 2/3 of registered voters identify as partisan, including 32% of voters who say they're Republicans and 33% of those who say they're Democrats. About 1/3 say they are independents or something else, but most of those voters lean toward one of the parties. Historically, bellwether counties routinely swing between the 2 major parties when voting for president. The question is whether the rise of Trump has firmly divided the country into 2 opposing camps, leaving no counties to go back and forth between the parties during presidential races.
One part of America has moved dramatically in this direction, and another part of America has moved dramatically in that direction, and there are no counties left in between to be bellwethers anymore.
White, college-educated men and women, these folks used to vote solidly Republican. Now they have swung towards Democrats. And then at the same time, white working class voters have swung towards Republicans.
And that divide, if permanent, could spell the end of bellwethers.
The country moves. That's the best way I can put it. It is not static. It moves. And what we thought once was true becomes something else. And so even if we had a bellwether county in the future, it wouldn't last long.
Yet Covey is still keeping an eye on counties in battleground states that have swung between Biden and Trump. These include Maricopa County, Arizona, Sauk County, Wisconsin, and Erie County, Pennsylvania.
These are all counties that voted for Trump in 2016 and then voted for Biden in 2020. And so these are the kinds of counties that we would expect probably will vote the same way as the eventual presidential winner this cycle.
And many eyes will likely remain on Clumsy County, the last of the old bellwethers, to see if it can ring that bell one more time by correctly predicting the winner of the 2024 presidential race.